Some say there are ghosts, some say there aren't. But here are just a few reports of some weird goings-on over the years. Some people insist that they've seen a ghost of the watercress woman here at Pinnock Bridge.
Watercress?
She's said to be the gypsy woman who used to sell watercress in the village. On the outskirts of Pluckley, there's a woodland called Deering Wood, sometimes known as the Screaming Woods. Some years ago, a water board inspector and his wife were out for a stroll. They were used to hearing the noises of the countryside, but the eerie scream was unlike anything they'd ever heard before. Scared out of their minds, they ran from the woods. There's also a triangular island of land in Pluckley. Some people call it Fright Corner. And it's here that there have been reported sightings of the shadowy figure of a highwayman on his horse.
Scary stuff. I'm not convinced though, and you know, neither are some of the villagers themselves.
I've lived in Pluckley for 15 years, 8 of those in a 15th century house. I've never seen a ghost. I don't believe in ghosts. I think they're all a complete fabrication, including the one about the watercress lady at Pinnock Bridge.
Well, several years ago, we came here to run the tea rooms, and we didn't know anything about the place at all. But we've had lots of unexplainable things, so there must be ghosts, but they're very friendly, and I love living here.
So, some of the people in the village don't mind the tales, and others think they're a load of old rubbish. And you know, it seems there are explanations for some of these strange occurrences.
So, what's known as Fright Corner, where the highwayman is said to be seen, isn't Fright Corner. It's actually Frith Corner, place next to Frith Woods. And also, many people who live here reckon the Screaming Woods, where the couple heard the awful screams, don't scream at all. They say it's just the sound of foxes screeching. And what about the watercress woman? Well, I reckon that might just be a bit of an old wives' tale too.
Here's a strange story. It's a mystery why a normal girl who lives a normal life in a normal town claims to have an electrical jinx.
Hello, my name is Gemma Britland. I'm 12 years of age and I come from Ashford in Kent. Recently, some really weird things have been happening to me, so I thought I would tell you about them. One day, I went round my friend Charlie's house to go on her computer. When I got there and started it up, we experienced a problem. It wouldn't work. Charlie couldn't understand it. It had been working perfectly the day before, and when I left, it worked okay as well. A few days later, I went round my friend Debbie's house. We went on her computer, but when we went on it, the screen went all fuzzy. We couldn't make any sense out of it at all. This set me thinking. I'd been near a computer twice, both in good working order until the moment I went near them, but when I moved away, they started working again. And just the other day, I went to log on to this computer, but it wouldn't log on. Minutes after I left, it began to work again. A couple of days later, I went round my friend Sadie's house. We were hungry, so we decided to cook scrambled egg on toast. I put the bread in the toaster and turned it on, but to my surprise, the toaster went funny and stopped working. So not only are computers breaking when I go near them, but other electrical appliances break too.
Fascinating stuff. Imagine just how Gemma must feel not knowing what happens every time she goes near an electrical appliance. But you know, she's not alone. There are numerous reports of this sort of thing happening all over the country. Earlier on this year, there were reports in the national press of vacuum cleaners that blew up, kettles that fused, and televisions that changed channel on their own. So, okay, what's happening? Well, one theory about this strange phenomena is that we're all living in an invisible electronic smog. There are so many electronic signals in the air from from things like televisions, radios, mobile phones, etc. And all of these things contribute to an electromagnetic overload in the atmosphere. Now, it's thought that most of us are unaffected by this, but occasionally some people react with it, causing interference with electrical equipment. So could this be what's happening to Gemma?
There's just no explanation. It's a real mystery.
Big spider. Right? And don't worry, this mystery is not about spiders, because it's a mystery what your handwriting says about you.
Especially yours, Neil. Well, looking at yours there, you can see that you've got very big handwriting. You dot your I's with a circle, and also your letters are very, very upright.
All right, let's see what all this could mean.
Oh, there we go.
Now, Neil's large writing shows that he likes to let people know he's there, the real centre of attention, if you know what I'm saying. And if someone puts circular dots on their eyes, it could be a sign that they like to be noticed. They might do this by trying to be different. So, when he was at school, Neil was probably the sort of kid who wanted short hair when long hair was in fashion. Nothing's changed. Neil's upright writing shows that if he ever comes up against a problem, he never panics. He just thinks about the right thing to do.
All right, I have to admit it. That is spot on. That is incredible. I don't tend to panic. Even in a situation where everything's going wrong, I don't panic. And yeah, when I was at school, when everyone had short hair, I did actually had very long hair.
But that's just being unfashionable rather than wanting to be noticed, isn't it?
It's your turn, matey, my lad. Now, let's see what you get up to. Come on, then. I look forward to this. Now, I don't want to worry you or anything, but for thousands of years, Trace, people have tried to reveal secrets about each other just by looking at their handwriting. And as you can see, compared to my handwriting, Tristan's is somewhat smaller and it's fatter, although it does stand upright like mine. And another big difference is that he dots his I's with dashes rather than the way I do mine with little circles.
What's wrong with dashes?
Tristan.
Go
Get
for it,
prepared.
Go for it.
Well, your smaller, fatter writing could mean that you like to do things by yourself, but then again, you don't mind being interrupted. So say you were at school, were you the sort of child who, if you were studying for an exam, you would get right into it, but if a friend came over and needed help, you'd be quite willing to drop your stuff and give them a hand?
I didn't really study it. No, I did. Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And your eyes, Neil pointed out before, you've got your dashes on your eyes. Well, that means that you could be a bit of a perfectionist. So say if you were colouring something in and you were doing it really well and then suddenly you went over the side a little bit, that would upset you. You'd have to have it perfect.
I don't know. I can usually cope with the colouring in thing, but true. When I was at when I sort of watch something back that I've recorded, I really pay attention to detail.
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah.
You might not have coloured in or anything, but you really are a perfectionist.
I know. Look at his hair.
All right. Well, she's talking about my short, fat writing. It's time
No, I thought I was going
to evaluate your writing.
Okay, then.
Go for it, girl.
All right, then.
Now, I don't want to put you off at all, Gail, but did you know that most large companies in Germany and France actually study people's handwriting before deciding to give them an interview for a job?
Thanks for that, Tristan.
No stress, though.
Do you think I'd get a job? Do you think I'd get a job,
Oh,
guys?
I don't think so. No, I'm only kidding.
thanks.
The thing that sets your writing apart from Neil's and mine is that yours leans over to the right.
Now, writing that slants to the right could mean that sometimes your feelings make you act very quickly. Like, for example, Gail Porter, if you see something in a shop that you want, you'll just go ahead and buy it, even if you haven't got the money to do it. Now, that's true about you, isn't it?
You don't go shopping.
She does. Well, you know what she's like with this shopping.
That is so true. Listen, I don't believe it. You must have got that information from my
Oh,
mother.
that's brilliant. So, it was really true for me.
Yeah.
It was very true for you. And
It's a sort of truthful- yeah, I'd say that.
Right, now, isn't it?
Fascinating stuff. It's amazing what your handwriting says about you.
Well, that's it for the first show. We've managed to solve some mysteries, but plenty remain. So don't forget to join us next time for some more.
In the meantime, here's one last mystery for you. A man walks into a cafe and asks for a glass of water. Instead, the waitress pops a balloon above his head. He thanks her. Why?
Can you solve the mystery?
Just think about it, and we'll let you know the answer next time. See ya.
See ya.